In the tranquil archipelago of El Nido, where time flows like gentle waves lapping at the shore, our story begins. The sun rises lazily over the horizon, casting a warm, golden glow across the peaceful fishing village of Arni. Here, we meet Serge, a young man of 17, whose life is about to take an unexpected turn. Serge awakens to the soft light of dawn filtering through his window. He rises slowly, stretching as he prepares for a day that promises to be as calm and predictable as the ones before it. The village of Arni stirs to life around him, the quiet murmur of voices and the distant sound of waves creating a soothing melody. As Serge steps out of his home, his bare feet meet the sun-warmed earth. The ground beneath him is a tapestry of textures, soft grass, smooth pebbles, and fine sand, each step a gentle reminder of his connection to this peaceful world. The air is filled with the salt tang of the sea, carried on a breeze that whispers of adventures yet to come. Serge makes his way to the beach, where he's been asked to collect colorful scales. The sand beneath his feet is warm and yielding, each step a quiet whisper. He moves along the shoreline, his eyes scanning the gentle surf for the glimmering scales. The repetitive motion of bending to pick up each scale becomes a meditative rhythm, lulling Serge into a state of peaceful contemplation. As the sun climbs higher in the sky, casting a warm glow over the beach, Serge's thoughts begin to drift. He ponders the nature of his world, the gentle passage of time, and the subtle connections between all things. The scales in his hand shimmer softly, each one a tiny reflection of the vast ocean before him. Unbeknownst to Serge, his simple act of collecting scales sets in motion a series of events that will gradually unfold like a flower opening its petals to the morning sun. The world around him begins to shift, almost imperceptibly at first. Colors seem to blur at the edges of his vision, and sounds take on a dreamlike quality. Serge finds himself in a place both familiar and strange, an alternate world where he had drowned as a child 10 years ago. This revelation comes not as a shock, but as a gentle awakening to a new understanding of existence. The beach where he stands is the same, yet subtly different. The waves seem to whisper of paths not taken and lives unlived. In this new reality, Serge encounters a girl named Kid, whose presence is as comforting as a warm breeze. Kid's voice carries a slight accent, adding a musical quality to her words as she explains the nature of parallel worlds. Her feisty spirit is tempered in our telling, her movements fluid and graceful as she joins Serge on his journey. Together, Serge and Kid begin to explore the islands of El Nido, each new location revealing itself in soft, muted tones. The lush forests, with their canopies filtering sunlight into dappled patterns on the forest floor, invite quiet contemplation. The gentle lapping of waves against the shore provides a constant, soothing backdrop to their travels. As they journey, Serge and Kid uncover fragments of a greater mystery involving time, dimensions, and the very nature of reality. These revelations come not as startling twists, but as gentle ripples spreading across the surface of their understanding. They learn of the frozen flame, a mystical artifact of great power, its importance unfolding gradually like a slowly blooming flower. Their path leads them to Viper Manor, a grand estate shrouded in mystery. The journey there is slow and meandering, filled with quiet moments of reflection and gentle conversation. As they approach the manor, the air grows thick with anticipation, but it's a soft, dreamy kind of tension that settles over them like a warm blanket. Inside Viper Manor, Serge and Kid move quietly through shadowy corridors, their footsteps muffled on plush carpets. They encounter various members of the Acacia Dragoons, each interaction a gentle exchange rather than a confrontation. The manor itself seems to breathe around them, its ancient walls whispering secrets of the past. As Serge and Kid leave Viper Manor, they find themselves drawn into the lush, verdant expanse of Hydra Marsh. The air here is thick and humid, filled with the soft sounds of rustling leaves and distant animal calls. They move through the marsh at an unhurried pace, their quest for an antidote becoming a leisurely exploration of this vibrant ecosystem. Throughout their journey, Serge and Kid are joined by a diverse cast of companions, each one introduced with the same gentle care as a new brushstroke added to a watercolor painting. There's Glenn, a skilled swordsman with a quiet demeanor, and Lena, Serge's childhood friend whose presence brings a sense of home and comfort. Fargo, a former dragoon turned pirate captain, joins their group, his gruff exterior softened by the lyrical quality of our narrative. As the party grows, so does the richness of their interactions. Conversations flow like gentle streams, each character's voice adding a new note to the harmonious whole. They share stories of their pasts, their hopes for the future, and their wonderment at the world around them, all in hushed tones that invite the listener to lean in and lose themselves in the tale. The group's exploration of El Nido continues, each new island and settlement unfolding before them like the pages of a storybook. They visit the mystical Ghoul Dove, where the air is thick with incense and the sound of prayer wheels creates a hypnotic rhythm. In the technological wonder of Chronopolis, they find a place where past and future blur, the gentle hum of advanced machinery a counterpoint to the timeless lapping of waves outside. As Serge and his companions travel, they begin to piece together the history of the El Nido archipelago. They learn of the dragon god, split into 6 entities, each one a guardian of nature's elements. These tales are told not with excitement or drama, but with a reverent quietness that invites contemplation. The party's journey takes them to the Dead Sea, a place where time itself seems to have stopped. Here, the boundaries between dimensions blur, creating a dreamlike landscape where past, present, and future coexist in a gentle swirl of possibilities. The eerie beauty of this place serves not to frighten, but to lull the senses into a state of peaceful wonder. Throughout their adventures, Serge and his friends face challenges, but these are presented not as heart-pounding action sequences, but as puzzles to be slowly and methodically solved. Each solution reveals another layer of the intricate tapestry of their world, building understanding in a gradual, soothing manner. As the first half of our story draws to a close, we find Serge and his companions standing at a crossroads. They have uncovered much about the nature of their world and the forces that shape it, yet much remains shrouded in mystery. The future holds the promise of greater discoveries and deeper connections, but there is no rush, no urgency. The El Nido archipelago stretches out before them, a world of infinite possibilities waiting to be explored. As the sun sets, painting the sky in soft hues of pink and gold, our heroes find a quiet moment of reflection. They stand together, watching the stars emerge one by one, each pinprick of light a gentle reminder of the vastness of the universe and the journey that still lies ahead. And so, as we pause in our tale, imagine Serge and his friends settling down for the night, the soft sound of waves a lullaby in the background. The mysteries of the frozen flame, the true nature of the parallel worlds, and the destiny that awaits them all will unfold in due time. For now, there is only the peaceful rhythm of the tides, the warm glow of friendship, and the promise of dreams yet to come. As we continue our gentle journey through the soothing world of Chrono Cross, we find ourselves drifting deeper into the tranquil narrative, like a leaf carried by a lazy river. The story unfolds with the same unhurried pace, inviting us to lose ourselves in its dreamy atmosphere. Serge, now able to return to another world, finds himself allied with the Acacia Dragoons. This alliance develops gradually, like the slow blooming of a flower. The Dragoons, once adversaries, now become companions on Serge's journey. Their ranks include the warriors Karsh, Zoa, Marcy, and Glenn, each with their own unique personalities and stories. Yet, in our somnolent retelling, their fierceness is muted, their stories unfolding in whispers and gentle gestures. As Serge and his new allies explore the archipelago of El Nido, the landscape continues to be a character in its own right. The islands reveal themselves in a dreamy procession of soft colors and gentle textures. Lush forests give way to sun-dappled clearings, while pristine beaches merge with the endless blue of the sea. The air is filled with the soothing sounds of nature, the rustle of leaves, the distant call of seabirds, the rhythmic lapping of waves against the shore. In this world, Serge locates another world's dragon tear, an artifact that allows him to return to his human form. The process of transformation is not sudden or jarring, but a gradual shift, like the changing of seasons. Colors blur and blend, shapes soften and reform, until Serge once again sees his own familiar reflection. With his true form restored, Serge's journey leads him to a place of great significance, the Sea of Eden, another world's physical equivalent of the Dead Sea. Here, he discovers a temporal research facility from the distant future called Chronopolis. The name itself is like a lullaby, inviting thoughts of time flowing like a gentle stream. Chronopolis stands as a monument to the passage of time, its architecture a blend of the familiar and the fantastical. Smooth, curved surfaces reflect the soft light, creating an almost ethereal atmosphere. The air inside is cool and still, filled with the faint hum of advanced technology operating at the very edge of perception. As Serge and his companions explore Chronopolis, they uncover layers of history and mystery. They learn that this facility created El Nido thousands of years ago, following a catastrophic experimental failure that drew it into the past. This event caused a ripple in the fabric of time and space, pulling in a counterbalance from a different dimension, the city of Dinopolis, inhabited by the Dragonians, descendants of the Reptites from Chrono Trigger. This revelation comes not as a shock, but as a gradual dawning of understanding. The weight of this knowledge settles over Serge and his companions like a warm, heavy blanket, inviting contemplation rather than action. Within the halls of Chronopolis, Serge encounters Lynx and Kid. A confrontation ensues, but it is not a frenetic battle. Instead, it unfolds like a slow-motion dance, each movement deliberate and measured. Serge ultimately prevails, defeating not only Lynx but also the supercomputer Fate. The defeat of Fate marks a turning point in the story, but even this momentous event is presented with a dreamy quality. The fall of the supercomputer is not accompanied by explosions or dramatic declarations. Instead, there is simply a gradual dimming of lights, a softening of the ambient hum, as if the facility itself is gently exhaling. In the aftermath of Fate's defeat, the 6 dragons of El Nido seize the opportunity to steal the frozen flame. They retreat to Terra Tower, a massive structure that rises from the depths of the sea. The emergence of Terra Tower is not a violent eruption, but a slow ascent, like the rising of the moon over the horizon. As these events unfold, Kid falls into a coma, her consciousness drifting in a sea of dreams. Harold, the mysterious girl who has been a constant presence throughout the journey, bids farewell to the party, choosing to fly with the dragons. Serge, ever the calm center of the storm, regroups with his companions and tends to the sleeping kid. The care of Kid becomes a gentle ritual, a series of small, nurturing acts that punctuate the quiet days. Cool cloths are applied to her forehead, soft words of encouragement are whispered, and patient vigils are kept. Time seems to slow even further in these moments, each second stretching out like honey dripping from a spoon. As Kid slumbers, Serge continues his quest. He obtains and cleanses the corrupted Masamune's sword, a relic from Chrono Trigger. With the dragon relics and shards of the dragon tears, he creates the mythic element Chrono Cross. These tasks, while significant, are carried out with the same unhurried pace that has marked the entire journey. The creation of the Chrono Cross is not a moment of high drama, but a slow coalescence of energies. Colors swirl and merge, light ebbs and flows, until finally, the element takes shape. It hovers in the air, pulsing gently with an inner light, a physical manifestation of the connections between worlds and times. With the Chrono Cross created, its spiritual power combines with that of the cleansed Masamune to lift Kid from her coma. Her awakening is gradual, like the slow opening of a flower at dawn. Her eyes flutter, her breathing deepens, and slowly, she rejoins the waking world. As Kid recovers her strength, the party turns their attention to Terra Tower. The massive structure looms on the horizon, a constant reminder of the challenges that lie ahead. Yet even this imposing edifice is softened by distance and the ever-present sea mist, its sharp edges blurred into dreamlike shapes. At Terra Tower, Serge and his companions encounter Balthasar, the Prophet of Time. Known to fans of Chrono Trigger, Balthasar's appearance bridges the gap between the two games. He comes to Serge with visions of Chrono, Merle, and Luca, the heroes of the previous adventure. Balthasar's revelations come not in a torrent of information, but in a gentle stream of insights. His words flow like a lullaby, weaving together threads of past, present, and future into a tapestry of understanding. He speaks of Chronopolis and its creation of El Nido, of the war with Dinopolis, and of the dragon god. He tells of how fate terraformed the archipelago, erased memories, and created a paradise. As Balthasar's tale unfolds, the very air seems to shimmer with the weight of history. The tower itself seems to listen, its ancient stones resonating with the echoes of ages past. Serge and his companions absorb this knowledge not with shock or surprise, but with a deep, quiet acceptance. The prophet's words paint a picture of a world far more complex than it first appeared. He speaks of a young Serge, attacked by a panther demon, and of a desperate journey that led to an encounter with the frozen flame. He tells of Scala, the princess of Zeal, trapped in the darkness beyond time and slowly merging with Lavos to become the time devourer. These revelations, while profound, do not disrupt the tranquil atmosphere. Instead, they settle into the minds of Serge and his companions like sediment settling to the bottom of a still pond. Each piece of information finds its place, creating a fuller, richer understanding of their world and their place in it. As Balthasar's tale comes to an end, he reveals that all these events were part of a grand design, a plan he calls Project Kid. With this knowledge, Serge and his companions ascend to the top of Terra Tower, where they face and defeat the dragon god. Yet even this climactic battle is presented in our somnolent retelling as a dance of light and shadow, a swirling of energies that ebbs and flows like the tides. The defeat of the dragon god is not marked by a thunderous crash or a blinding flash, but by a gentle fading, like mist dissipating in the morning sun. With the dragon god defeated, Serge and his companions find themselves at the threshold of their final challenge. They must confront the time devourer in the darkness beyond time, using the power of the Chrono Cross to free Scala and restore balance to the dimensions. The journey to the darkness beyond time is not a violent thrust through reality, but a gentle drift, like a leaf carried on a stream. The world around them fades into a soft, encompassing darkness, punctuated by distant points of light that might be stars or might be the glimmering fragments of lost timelines. In this place beyond time and space, Serge faces the time devourer. The confrontation is not a battle in the traditional sense, but a delicate balancing act, a careful application of the Chrono Cross's power. Serge must use the elements in a specific order, each one adding its unique resonance to the cosmic symphony. As Serge applies the elements, the time devourer begins to change. Its form shifts and flows, the merged essences of Scala and Lavos gradually separating. The process is slow and mesmerizing, like watching clouds reshape themselves in a summer sky. Finally, with the application of the Chrono Cross itself, Scala is freed. The separation is not violent or traumatic, but a gentle parting, like two dancers ending a long and intricate performance. Scala emerges, her form coalescing from motes of light, while what remains of Lavos dissipates into the surrounding darkness. In the aftermath of this cosmic event, Scala uses her power to send Serge and his companions back to their own time and dimension. The return journey is like awakening from a deep and restful sleep, the world gradually coming into focus around them. As reality settles, Serge finds himself back on Opasa Beach, where his journey began. The sun is setting, painting the sky in soft hues of pink and gold. The gentle lapping of waves on the shore seems to whisper of adventures past and the endless possibilities of the future. In these final moments, Serge reflects on his journey. The memories begin to fade, not in a rush, but slowly, like the ebbing of the tide. Each recollection softens and blurs, becoming like a half-remembered dream. As the last vestiges of his grand adventure slip away, Serge is left with a profound sense of peace. Though he may not remember the details of his journey, its impact remains, shaping him in subtle ways that will influence the course of his life. And so, our tale of Chrono Cross comes to its end, not with a bang or a dramatic flourish, but with the gentle turning of a page, the soft closing of a book. The story settles into our minds like a pleasant dream, its details fading but its essence remaining, a comforting presence as we drift towards sleep. As we leave Serge on that sun-warmed beach, returning to a life that is both familiar and somehow new, we too can feel the pull of slumber. The soothing rhythms of the story, the gentle ebb and flow of events, have lulled us into a state of peaceful relaxation. Our journey through the world of Chrono Cross has been one of quiet wonder and gentle revelation. We have traversed dimensions, unraveled the mysteries of time, and witnessed the power of connections that transcend reality itself. Yet all of this has unfolded with the unhurried pace of a lazy summer afternoon, each moment flowing seamlessly into the next. As our eyelids grow heavy and our thoughts begin to drift, we can take comfort in the knowledge that somewhere, in a world just beyond the veil of sleep, Serge continues his journey. Perhaps he walks along that familiar beach, or shares a laugh with friends in his village. And perhaps, in the depths of his dreams, he catches fleeting glimpses of the adventures we have shared. The story of Chrono Cross, with its themes of time, identity, and the interconnectedness of all things, settles over us like a warm, comforting blanket. It invites us to ponder the nature of our own existence, the paths we have taken and those we have yet to explore. But these ponderings are not urgent or disturbing, rather, they are gentle musings that guide us softly towards the realm of dreams. As we finally succumb to sleep, we carry with us the echoes of this tale. The soft lapping of waves on a distant shore, the whisper of wind through sun-dappled leaves, the gentle melody of the Chrono Cross, all these weave together in our subconscious, creating a tapestry of peace and tranquility that will color our dreams. And so, cradled in the soothing embrace of this story, we drift off into slumber, our minds filled with images of shimmering oceans, mystical artifacts, and the endless possibilities that lie just beyond the horizon of our perception. The world of Chrono Cross fades into the realm of dreams, its gentle rhythms guiding us towards a rest that is deep, peaceful, and filled with the promise of new adventures to come.